We're going to start now, so I'm going to ask everybody to lie down, please. I'm going to teach a simple MYT class, and then we'll do resilience tomorrow. Good. When you're ready, and if it feels okay, take a moment to notice all of the places on your body that are touching the earth. So start with your head, your shoulders and arms, parts of your torso, legs and feet. And see if it feels possible for you to get the weight of you fully connected to earth. Earth is one of your primary supports. It's always there for you. Take a moment to notice the rhythm and the qualities of your breath today. Not trying to make it be anything or change it, just feeling what you feel as you've arrived. Again, some days it's easy, deep, and rich. And some days it's not so easy. It's a little bit more choppy and shallow. Either way, see what you feel. Perhaps you even notice that as you inhale and exhale, the lungs fill up and then the lungs empty. So the lungs expand and then they condense. The breath washes in and then it washes back out. It's like a wave, and the wave crests at the top of the inhale and at the top of the exhale, and the next part of the breath begins. Now, the next time you bring breath in, what if you imagine that this breath makes its way from the lungs into the bloodstream and carries its way through to the organs, tissues, and cells. And every single cell in your body begins to expand and condense the same way that it does in the lungs. Every inhale expands every cell in your body, and every exhale condenses it. And perhaps we even notice that as we inhale and we bring that breath in and we take it out to the cells, it starts to create some cellular repair and restores us. There's cellular restoration, and it nourishes us. And then as we exhale and the cells condense, we squeeze out waste and we send it back out in the out breath. In comes the next breath, the wave crests, here it comes. It restores, repairs, replenishes us. As the wave crests and the out breath goes out, we take out what we don't need anymore. And maybe even remove what's not serving us anymore. Stay with that for a few more rounds of breath, bringing in the new and sending out what we don't need. Good. Great. As you feel ready, if your eyes are closed, start to open them again. Let your gaze come back up if your gaze has dropped. And then at your own pace, go ahead and draw your knees toward your belly and wrap your arms around and give that whole abdominal area a little compression, a little squeeze in. Good. Take a couple breaths just right here. Inhaling and exhaling. And remembering that Ujjayi breath that we learned, we start to introduce that. Good. Good job. Slow and steady, nice and soft, allowing our breath to move through the nostrils instead of the mouth. Good. Now, as you inhale this time, reach your right hand all the way around to the left knee and take the left arm and reach it all the way out to the side. Fill the body with breath with that inhale. And then as you exhale, go ahead and spin your knees all the way over to the right side. Take them all the way to the earth. Curl them into your knees as close as they can. Into your belly, toward your belly. Good. And then this left arm is wide open. So as you don't just let that left arm lie there, reach through your left arm, reach through your left lung, reach through the whole torso as you inhale and exhale here, bringing in breath, enlivening all those cells, repairing, restoring, and replenishing this area of the body. Beautiful. Take your next inhale and come all the way back through to center. And then curl back in the knees and wrap the arms around as you exhale. Take a breath or two here. Beautiful. Let's go the other way now. So reach the left arm around the right knee, and the right arm reaches away onto the earth. Good. Inhale, fill the body up with breath. And as you exhale, go ahead and spin your knees all the way over to the left side. Beautiful. Good. Now reach through that beautiful right arm. The right arm, the right lung, the whole right side body, all the right side organs are receiving as much breath as you're bringing in right now. Keep your breath stable and strong. Ujjayi, even inhale, even exhale. Oh, gorgeous. Inhale, come all the way back through to center. Curling knees in on the exhale. And releasing your body to the earth again. Good. Go ahead and cross your feet at the ankles now. Grab one hand so that you have options always. You can do this, or you can roll off to your right side and come onto hands and knees. But here's one choice. Cross your feet at your ankles. Roll yourself back and forth 3 or 4 times before you come all the way through to sitting. Good. And then once you've arrived at sitting, let's go all the way over onto hands and knees. And let's start looking for that connection to earth again. We can either come into our yoga practice with our body hard and propped on the earth, or we can come into our yoga practice with our body collapsed and sort of not really receiving or doing anything. Or we can come into our yoga practice with our body connected to earth. So what I'm going to ask you to do right now is to bend your elbows a little bit and place the whole palm of your hand and all of your fingers on the earth. And I'm going to call this place, the first finger, the thumb, and the base of the wrist, my inner triad of my hand. I'm going to ask you to make sure that the inner triad is connected as well. And as I lightly press my hands into the earth, I'm going to receive what earth gives me in return and take that through my whole body. Yeah. And maybe you feel that travel through the arms all the way through the torso to the tail and sitting bone. I'm also going to do that with the tops of my feet in the back. So I'm going to press the tops of my feet into the earth and connect all the way through to my crown of my head from that connection to earth. Beautiful. And then finally, before I move or do anything else, I want to introduce something called naval support. So what if you imagine that you have your hand right on your belly, right where your belly button is? And what if you imagine that your hand was pressing in and up lightly, just lightly? Notice the support that you would receive in the low back and in the spine. Again, I'm calling this naval support, and I'm going to ask you to try to maintain that through your practice so that your spine stays supported and healthy. Good. Now we've got all our supports in place. As we inhale, we're going to reach the right arm forward and the left leg back and take a couple of breaths here. If your navel support is in place and your connection to earth is in place, you're nice and stable and steady. Beautiful. Exhale, draw it all the way back into center and get connected to earth again. As you inhale again, the left hand reaches and the right leg reaches. Beautiful. Navel support, connection to earth. Awesome. Exhale, pull it all the way back into center. Good. From here, we're going to start a little bit of movement. So we're going to start with our knees nice and wide, and we're going to press back into wisdom pose. So the torso falls right between the knees. I'm going to try to sit up so that you can hear me when I'm talking. Good. Take a breath or two there. And then we're going to start moving a little bit with each breath so that we warm up the body and the joints. So as you inhale, come back to hands and knees. And from here, we're going to make our way to downward facing dog. So rolling the toes under is your next inhale. And as you exhale, press the whole hand into the earth and come back into downward facing dog. Good. Next inhale brings you back to hands and knees. And as you exhale, you press back into wisdom pose again. You can take your forehead to the earth if that feels like a possibility. Inhale, hands and knees. And exhale, downward facing dog. Lengthening the spine. Beautiful. Don't forget to breathe. See if it feels possible to reach the tail and sitting bones away as you arrive in down dog. Take 2 more breaths here. And we're going to come up to standing next, and you've got a couple of choices. You could walk your feet to your hands, or you could bend your knees a lot and walk your hands back to your feet. From here, you're going to take an inhale and come all the way up to standing, and come up to the top of your mat if you're not there already. Good job. So connecting ourselves to earth happens every time we have a new place that's touching earth. And right now it's our feet. I'm going to give you a couple of options. You can take your big toes together with your heels slightly apart and stay right there as we come into our mountain pose. Or you can take your feet hips width apart and stay right there. See what feels better. Now, I will tell you this, that if you take your big toes together, you feel a little bit more buoyancy in the upper body, a little bit lighter in the lower body, and more buoyancy in the upper body. If you take your feet hips width apart, you feel a little bit heavier and grounded and connected to earth. Try both of them and see which one feels better for you today. Wherever you are, I'm inviting you to bend your knees right now a lot. And take a peek down at your toes. Look at all of your toes. Connect them to earth. Connect the outside rim of your feet and even your heel and pour all of that down into the earth. And from the press of the earth, draw up and bring that sensation all the way up to the crown of your head. So the feet pour down and the head and the upper body rise. And we've got these equal and opposing forces going on always. This connection to earth, whatever is touching earth and whatever is reaching away, both at the same time. Now from here, we're going to warm up a little bit more. So with our feet pressing firmly into the earth, take an inhale and reach up and let your whole body be a part of this. And then as you exhale, pull the arms all the way back down. Beautiful. Let's do 2 more of those. Press down to reach up. Inhale, get nice and long. Exhale, pulling arms all the way back down. Third one, push down, reach up. Inhale, pull the arms back down, exhaling. Nice job, everybody. Let's add a little bit to that. So we press our feet into the earth. Inhale, reach up. Now bend your knees a lot. As you exhale, come all the way over. Hands come to the earth or your shins, either or. And then inhale as you wave out and get nice and long. You reach headward and tailward. And then exhale, curl back in one more time. Push your feet into the earth, come back up reaching. It's a big full inhale. Don't forget about knees in this. Exhale, pulling arms back down. Let's do 2 more of those. Push down, reach up, inhale. Take it all the way over as you exhale. Inhale, lengthen out, headward and tailward. And then exhale as you curl back down. Push down, reach up, inhale, arms reach, equal and opposing forces. And we exhale, pulling arms back down. One last one, push down, reach up. The breath moves through the whole body as you reach. And then exhale, take it all the way back out and over. Inhale as you lengthen out halfway, and exhale, curling back in. Push your feet into the earth as you inhale and reach up. And pull the arms back down on the exhale. And let's just stop here for a moment and notice. Notice the sensation of your breath. Notice your connection to earth. Good. We're going to take our block and place it right between our feet. Good. So if you were big toes together, you're going to want to separate for this. And then again, get yourself fully connected to earth. Take the palms of your hands together. And as you do that, it's an exhale. You sort of curl in just a little bit. On the inhale, the right knee is going to rise and we're going to step it back about 1 leg's distance. See if you can line up your heels here so the 2 heels line up. Perfect. Now with an inhale, the left sitting bone slides underneath you and the arms reach up. And we come into this warrior 1 posture. Good, let's take 2 breaths here, just inhaling and exhaling. Nice job, everybody. Naval support in place, lungs are wide open and receiving. We're gonna come into a posture called warrior 2 now. So as we inhale, we're going to roll around center and reach our left arm forward and our right arm back. Be careful not to lean on your hip. You want the center of you to be upright. And be careful not to let your knee go past your ankle. So just take a peek down to see if your knee is safe. And the knee should be tracking toward the second toe, not out to either side. So we want to be careful about that as well. This is warrior 2. Good. Triangle is our next posture. So as you inhale and push your feet into the earth, the front leg straightens. And as you exhale, the left hand comes to the block, the shin, the thigh, whatever feels the right option for you today. And your gaze rolls up to your right fingertips. Good work. Can you bring your right fingertips so that they're over your mouth so that your shoulder isn't working way too hard? Nice job, everybody. On the next inhale, the left sitting bone slides under you again as you come back through to center. And as you exhale, you arrive. Good work. We're going to take the palms of our hands together in front of our heart, come up onto our back toes, and step forward so we can do the other side. Good work. Pushing feet into the earth, arriving. Finding your connection to earth and your stability. Exhale. Inhale, the left knee rises. And as we exhale, we step it back nice and light. Good. Heels line up here. The right sitting bone slides underneath you. Beautiful. Inhale gives us warrior 1. Nice job, everybody. Reach through those arms like you're reaching for something that's really important. Good. As we inhale, we're going through to warrior two on this side. Here we go, gazing down the right fingertips this time. The gazing point gives us a little bit of focus. So we're not all over the place and we don't let our mind wander away too far. It does wander, by the way, but we keep bringing it back with the sound of our breath and our gazing point. As we inhale, we make our way towards triangle by straightening the front leg and exhaling, taking the right hand to the block and the left arm up over our mouth. Take 2 or 3 breaths here. Good, gaze is up at your left thumb, keeping your mind steady as much as possible. It's a job for all of us. As we inhale, we come back to warrior two. Exhale gives you the arrival, yeah? Palms together in front of your heart, come up onto your back toes. Inhale, step forward. And exhale, stabilize, find your place on the earth. We're gonna do that one more time, but we're gonna change triangle to side angle posture. So here we go. Pushing feet into the earth, exhale. Inhale, right knee rises, and as we exhale, we're gonna step it all the way back. It's gonna be a little bit wider this time. Good. Heel to heel, inhale, reach up. Exhale takes us through to warrior two. Inhale again, fill up. And as you exhale, take your forearm to your leg and the right arm reaches up and over. Good. Bring a little awareness to that back foot, the right foot. Step it into the earth a little bit more so it's not all front heavy in this posture. And then if it's possible, roll the collarbones open just a little bit. Beautiful. Inhale brings us all the way back up to warrior two. And as we exhale, we bring palms together, come up onto our toes, and step forward. Stabilize, find earth, steady even. Pour your weight into the right leg. Inhale, exhale, curl in. Inhale, step your left leg back. A little bit wider than last time, right? Exhale, you arrive. Inhale, reach up. And as you exhale, spinning right around center into warrior two. Inhale again. And forearm to your leg as you exhale and reaching up and over, curling open, bringing your gaze upward and taking a few of those beautiful ujjayi breaths. Nice job, everybody. Good work. Inhale brings us back to warrior two. And as we exhale, we come back up onto our back toes, palms together, and step forward, stabilizing yourself. Good work. We can move our block out to the side now as we make our way into a balancing posture. We're going to do a posture called tree. Now, the funny thing about yogic postures are, you know, standing on one leg, we wonder why we do this. Nobody cares if you can stand on one leg. It's not going to help you any way in your life. But what it does do is teach you how to focus and stay present. You have to focus and stay present to be able to stand on one leg. If you fret or your mind starts to go in a million different directions, you fall. So it gives us the opportunity to learn to bring our focus into a very one-pointed, narrow place. So let's start. First, before we do that, I just want to show you, you're going to have 3 options. The first one is you can just put your toes down with your heel up. And the second one will be the foot below the knee. And the third one will be the foot above the knee. The only thing I'm asking you not to do is put your foot on your knee, because if you press your foot up against your knee, you're going to end up hurting your joints, and we don't want to do that. So let's start by pressing our feet into the earth, pouring our weight down, and then bringing our awareness upward so we have this full body expression and connection to earth. Take a breath there. The sound of the breath is one of the things that's going to help keep you present. So the ujjayi breath helps you here. And then the second thing I'm going to invite you to do is to find a gazing point out in front of you. Maybe it's a spot on the floor, maybe it's a spot on the wall, but don't let it be another person, because if you look at another person and they fall, you're going with them. So find something that's stable, that you can gaze at, and keep your gaze there. Good. Now pour all of your weight into your left leg and let your right heel just rise up a little bit. The next inhale, the foot comes up. You decide where you want to bring it and take your palms together. Good. Take a breath here. Stabilize yourself. Focus on your gazing point, your breath, the sound of your breath. And then on the next inhale, part your hands and reach up. We're going to take 2 more breaths here. Good. Exhale, pull the arms back down, palms together, and release your foot to the earth. Find your earth again. Find what you need to stay stable. Pour all of your weight into your right foot, and as you inhale, decide where you want the left foot to go. Take your palms together and stabilize yourself. Good work. With an inhale, part your hands and reach up. Good. Keep that Ujjayi breath going smooth and steady with this beautiful gazing point out in front of you. Keep coming back to it and keep coming back to the sound of your breath. As you exhale, pull the arms all the way back down, palms together, and release your foot to the earth. Good. Releasing your hands, you're going to come back to the top of your mat if you're not there already, and make a decision. Do I want my toes together, or do I want my feet hips width apart? What feels better? Take a couple breaths here in mountain and notice your connection to earth, the length of your spine, the sensation of your breath moving through your lungs. Stay with that for just another breath. Good. Now, press your feet into the earth. Inhale and reach up. Bend your knees a lot as you exhale. Come all the way over. Place your hands into the earth. Inhale as you lengthen out a little bit and step into downward facing dog on the exhale. Let's take 2 or 3 breaths there. Nice work. From here, you're going to inhale and come into plank. Good. Now, 2 choices again. You can either lower yourself to the earth through low push-up, or you can take your knees down and lower all the way down onto your belly. I'm going to stay seated because I want you to be able to hear me instead of my face being in the earth. Good. Take your arms alongside your body. And let the tops of your hands touch the earth. Take your forehead down. Good. The next thing I'm going to invite you to do is to draw your belly up and in lightly. So you have some real strong navel support. We're going to do a posture called locust, where the head and the feet rise, but they reach in opposite directions. So I want to be clear about that. It's not just about curling upward. It's about lengthening in those opposing directions, right? So here we go. With an inhale, keep your hands touching the earth. Up you go. Head, shoulders rise, and feet rise. And the feet reach in one direction, and the crown of the head reaches in the opposite direction. 2 more breaths here. Good. Now, as you exhale and lower down, turn your head to one side or the other and let yourself rest for a moment. These are wonderful for strengthening your low back and making some space in a low back that feels compressed. So what you're trying to do here is make space, not curl it in, not dump in the low back. And by drawing the belly up and in, you're creating some space or some support from the underside of the body to help do that. Okay, let's do that again. This time we're going to take the palms of our hands down. So you're going to flip your hands over, take the palms down on the ground, Wilfredo. This way, look. Yeah. There you go. Good. Forehead down. Belly scoops in. Inhale, head and feet rise. Good. Keep breathing. Now, don't hold your breath here. That is one of the things that we tend to do in this posture. Hold our breath. Let that breath move through you and repair and restore all those cells. Exhale, lower down, take your head to the other side and rest. Good work. Now draw your hands right up underneath your shoulders, and you're going to take an inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to press yourself back into a nice long wisdom pose. So knees nice and wide, and let the torso fall right between the legs. Good. 2 more breaths here. Good work. As you inhale, come to hands and knees. And we're going to come through to sitting, so you can cross your feet behind you and come through and sit, or roll your legs out to the side and come through and sit. See what feels best. We're going to take our feet out in front of us and take our feet to the earth. And then from here, you're going to weave your hands underneath your knees, clasp them, and then anchor your sitting bones as you sit up super tall. Spine is really long, belly is scooped in. Now, when you release your hands, can you keep this? Can you keep that nice upright feeling and reach your arms out to the side? Good. With an inhale, just take the right foot up, and let's take a few breaths here. It's just Amy. It's okay, Tracy. Good. Exhale, release your foot to the earth, cross your feet, and take a breath or two. So now we're strengthening the front of the body. Locust was to strengthen the low back. This is called boat or half boat, and it's to strengthen the front part of the middle body. Here we go. Let's do the other side. We're going to get both feet on the earth, reach under, sit up super tall, get long, let the crown of your head reach, and then reach your arms out. Good. Inhale, left leg comes up. Let's take a few breaths here. Good. Exhale, release. Cross the feet. Take a breath or two. Now from here, we're going to extend both feet. If your body has a hard time sitting this way and you find that your low back is sagging, you have a couple of choices. If you have a blanket or a prop that you can place underneath you, that's an option. But the simplest choice is just to bend your knees. And if you bend your knees, you come into a nice place of a neutral curve again. Good. Notice Wilfredo's using his bolster to get his spine nice and in neutral, right? So from here, we're going to take the pinky toes to the earth, and we're going to draw that whole right foot back. It's the right side, I'm sorry. Good. And so we've got a couple of choices here, too. We could, let me show you first, reach for our shin or our foot and curl in if we feel like we can keep our spine nice and long. But another choice would be to just tent our fingertips out and reach the crown of the head, which is the version I'm going to do. So let's see what feels right. Take a nice big inhale and figure out where your hands belong today. And then as you exhale, just lengthen over a little bit. Good. Make sure the left foot is as if it's standing. Nice. So it's not on vacation, right? It's part of the posture. Beautiful. 2 more breaths here. Nice job. The next inhale brings us all the way back up through to center. And as we exhale, we release that leg. Beautiful. Let's do the other side. So we're going to take the left pinky toe to the earth, take that whole side back, Step into the right foot as if it's standing. With an inhale, you're either reaching for foot, ankle, shin, or tenting fingers. See what feels best. And as you exhale, pour your weight down and lengthen just a little bit. 3 more breaths here. Good. Big inhale brings us all the way back up to center. And as we exhale, we place both feet out, big toes touching or maybe hips width. See what feels right. You can do the same thing here. You can reach for your feet, your ankles, your shins, or maybe just tense your fingers. Inhale, get nice and long, and exhale, curling to whatever place feels appropriate. Take a breath or two. Good. Gazing up, we inhale and we release as we exhale. We're going to make our way onto our backs. But before we do that, let's take a downward facing dog and just clear the slate so as we enter a different portion of this practice, right? So I'm going to cross my legs and come over onto hands and knees. You could come around sideways if that feels like the best thing. Make sure that your knees are directly underneath your hips and your hands are slightly forward of your shoulders. Now remember the inner triad of the hand? We're pressing into the inner triad of the hand. Our elbows are soft. We don't want to lock our joints ever. Roll your back toes under as you inhale, and on the exhale, press all the way back. It's downward facing dog. Take 2 or 3 breaths here. Good. Inhaling, we're coming back to hands and knees. And as we exhale, you can take your legs out to the side or cross your feet at the ankles, come through and sit. And we're going to go all the way down and lie down. We're going to take bridge next. Good. So feet are planted on the earth. Beautiful. And hands are alongside your body. Good. Now, let's just check in on the back of our neck. So sometimes we have a tendency to make our chin stick up in the air. Can you make the back of your neck really long by taking your chin down a little bit? Good. And can you plant your hands and feet on the earth so that you get that connection that we keep talking about? Every part of your body that touches the earth connects. Good. Press feet and hands into the earth. Inhale, the hips rise as we come up into our first bridge. But we're not going to stay there. We're going to exhale and roll down 1 vertebra at a time, reaching your tailbone towards your heels. Press all your toes down. Don't let your toes curl up. Good. Let's do that again. Press down as your hips rise. Good work. Exhale, roll down 1 vertebra at a time, just articulating each one of them to make some space between them. Now this last one, we're going to stay up for a few breaths. So press your hands and feet into the earth. Inhale, up you go. Good. Keep your hands and feet pushing into the earth. Try not to grip your glutes. Yeah. See if you can roll onto your shoulders. Oh, don't stop breathing. Don't hold your breath. Good work. Now, before we roll down, I just want you to think about this. It's the tailbone that reaches toward the heels as you roll down. Do that one more time with your next exhale. Roll down nice and slow. Beautiful. And stop for a moment and just feel some of the work that you've already done. Just inhaling and exhaling. Nice job. So we need to turn it around a little bit and bring all of the fluids in the body flowing in the opposite direction. So we need to go upside down a little bit somehow, some form of an inversion. So for today, we're going to take our legs straight up in the air. So stay right exactly where you are. Curl your right knee in towards your chest. And then with an inhale, reach that leg straight up in the air so that the toes are reaching toward the sky. Good. Now curl your left knee in towards your chest. And with your next inhale, go ahead and reach that leg straight up in the air. Press your hands into the earth. We're going to take 5 breaths here. Just inhaling and exhaling calmly. And always remembering that if at any time any of these things feel uncomfortable to you, you always come back to neutral. No worries. This is your practice, and everybody's practice is unique. So it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. What matters is what feels right in your body. We all come to our mats with different experiences, and we all practice from a different experience. One more breath. Good. On the next exhale, you're going to curl both knees into your chest and wrap your arms all the way around. Good. Give them a nice squeeze in. Keep breathing though. Good. Now take your right hand and reach it around your left knee. Let's finish up the way we started. And your left arm reaches out to the side. Inhale fully. And as you exhale, spin your knees all the way over to the right. Good. Reaching through the left arm, left lung, left side body. I invite you to notice whether this feels different than when we started. Remember, we all have our own experience, so there isn't a right or wrong answer to that question. Good job. One more breath. Good. As you inhale, come all the way back through to center. Curl your knees in, exhaling. And let's do the other side. Go ahead and reach around. Inhale, take the right arm all the way out. Big reach through that right arm. Exhale and spin the knees to the left. Good work, everybody. Steady and even breath. Remember, as you bring new breath in, you're restoring and repairing and replenishing. And as you send the breath out, you're removing everything you don't need anymore. As you inhale, come all the way back through center. And as you exhale, curl in one more time. Give it a good scoop in. Good. And then release your feet. Release your hands, release your arms. We're going to take rest for a few minutes. You can lie on your back. You can lie on your side. You can even lie on your belly if that feels okay. But what we want to do is give your body the opportunity to process all the work that you've just done. You can place a bolster under your knees. Find what feels comfortable to you. Good. And then release your body to the earth. Release the Ujjayi breath. And let yourself rest for just a few moments. Allowing your body to absorb what you've done. Okay, let's start with some small movements. Maybe it's just your fingers and toes. And as those movements get a little bit larger, you roll off to one side or the other and come around to sitting, but I'm inviting you to really take your time. And take your hands together in front of your heart. And take a little bit of a bow with your head and see if that helps you arrive at a place that feels like gratitude. As you arrive there, think of one thing in your life today that you're truly grateful for and acknowledge it in your mind. Thank you. Thank you for practicing with me today.